ICE. I love
Let's
ICE,
go.
man. Let's frickin' go. Here's the clip from Fox News.
Arrest of a Somali immigrant in Minnesota seen pictured with local Democrat leaders, Governor Tim Walz and Congressman Ilhan Omar. ICE says that he was convicted of welfare fraud in Canada and should not have been eligible for temporary status here in the United States. Correspondent Garrett Tenney tells us the backstory here from Chicago. Hi, Garrett.
Yeah, Martha, the immigration judge in that Somali man's case denied his asylum request specifically because of the significant amount of fraud on his record. That was in 2004, but for some reason, Abdul Dahir Ibrahim was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, even after he had an order of removal. Altogether, DHS says it has arrested more than 12 individuals so far as part of its newly launched Operation Metro Surge in the Twin Cities. Those arrests include 5 other Somalis, 2 of which have also been convicted of fraud.
What's a little bit annoying, Andrew, is they've only arrested 12 people since December 1st, which, that's still a lot of people in such a short period of time. I wanted hundreds, though, to be completely honest. Also, what's worse, Andrew, only 12, or the fact that this guy has been here for, years and we gave him protection status as a fraudster?
I don't know which one's worse, but when I look at this, it's really interesting because when you look at the Somali community in Minnesota, you see how close-knit their ties are, and they protect their own. And that's why when I see Ilhan Omar and people like this, they come on TV and they act like they have no idea any of this is happening, these politicians, not in a million years did Ilhan Omar not know. She needs to be investigated. They need to go after her because this kind of stuff, that's an isolated event, right? Or that's not an isolated event, sorry. That's happening all over Minnesota. That's just one situation. And this needs to be exposed ASAP.
It went from 1 billion to 8 billion. That's what the reports are saying.
That's correct, yes.
Omar. Yeah, this is Ilhan Omar with Mr. Abdul Dahir Ibrahim right here, best friends.
Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. The man pictured is Abdul Dahir Ibrahim. He entered the country in 2000 and has had an order for removal since 2004. He also has a prior conviction in Canada for asylum and welfare fraud. ICE tells Fox News Ibrahim was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, but should have never been eligible. We are going to have more on this in our next episode.
Hello there, folks. I trust you're doing fine. So, in one of the recent major ICE raids in the United States is the arrest of, Abdul Dahir Ibrahim, who is believed to be a close associate of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and also a close associate of Governor Tim Walz. So here is a compilation of a few clips that I came across about the arrest of, Abdul Ibrahim and the charges that are put in place against him, and what it could mean for Governor Tim Walz and also for the Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. So let's stay tuned, and I'll be back with my commentary.
All right, this news just breaking moments ago. Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. The man pictured is Abdul Dahir Ibrahim. He entered the country in 2000 and has had an order for removal since 2004. He also has a prior conviction in Canada for asylum and welfare fraud. ICE tells Fox News Ibrahim was granted temporary protected status for 10 years, but should have never been eligible. We are going to have more on this in our next hour.
Minnesota, Somalian, arrested of fraud. There he is, pictures with Omar and Tim Walz. So the only question that I have for the both of you is, since you're so buddy up with this criminal, did you know that he was committing fraud? The answer, yes or no. Because the last time I checked is that 2 + 2 = 4, and the American people aren't stupid, and the American people aren't dumb, and I believe most of the people up in Minnesota, where their tax-paying dollars have been hijacked, have had enough. Abdul Abraham of Somalia not a good guy. He's been here for quite a while doing very, very bad things that have not been in the best interest of the United States of America. Public records back in 2002 will show you that he's been convicted of giving false information. There's no record of this being married, but he claims that his sister is his wife and the children that she bared is his. But on a later date, according to documents, it shows that those were just lies. But why would he claim that his sister is his wife and those children were his? Back in 1995, he was deported from Canada. In 2004, he was here in the United States of America. Judge put in documents that he should be removed. His appeal was denied in 2006. But despite the order from the judge, Temporary Protective Services gave him status for the next following years, which brings us up to 2023. And now we're in the beautiful year of 2025, and look who this criminal is palling around with. And all of a sudden, this news breaks out that billions upon billions of dollars has been extorted out of the beautiful state of Minnesota, sent over to Somalia into the hands of Al-Qaeda forces, the same exact terrorist group that screams death to America. Ilhan knows this. Our governor, Tim Walz, is very, very well aware of this. So I'll ask you again one more time, Governor. Were you aware that you were palling around with a criminal, with a person that has been deported from Canada that should have never ever been here for this whole entire extended time that he's been here? And did you know, possibly allegedly, that he might be involved in the most recent case of extorting money out of here, out of the United States of America?
Hello, yeah, folks. Now, Mr. Abdul Dahir Ibrahim has been a close associate of, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and also Governor Tim Walz. And could this be paving way for the arrest of top Democrat leaders in Minnesota, like, the Congresswoman and the governor? Because there are pictures of the two together. And if at all Mr. Abdul Ibrahim is involved in, in the fraud syndicate that is currently being indicated, then that means that it would also implicate the governor and the congresswoman. What do you think about the whole situation? Share with me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.